So I just sat down to film an update for Project Tank, which I'm currently sitting in. The inside still has a ways to go, but the outside is just about there. And as we all know, it's what's on the outside that counts. There's going to be a little bit of an echo. Soundproofing foam is the very next step on this project. The real reason I'm throwing that Project Tank update to the side for another week and filming something else today is because I glanced in the bottom right corner and just happened to notice the date. It's a very important worldwide holiday. It's Pi Day.
It's Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi.
My network at home currently has 3 Raspberry Pis on it, and there are many more to come. And so today I thought for Pi Day I'd tell you about one of those things that my Raspberry Pi is doing that anyone else could do as well. The Raspberry Pi for today's video has 256 gigs of storage, 128 on the microSD card and another 128 on the USB flash drive. And you may be thinking, why would a Raspberry Pi need that much storage? Surely it couldn't be for anything good. Well, it is for something good. It's for BitTorrent. And before you start calling the emergency services in whatever region, sending them over, BitTorrent is not illegal. Downloading copyrighted material you didn't pay for, that's what's illegal. Some people out there are going to be thinking to themselves at this point, well, what's the point of BitTorrent if not to download every season of The Office? And there are at least 2 reasons I can think of off the top of my head. The first is, if you're hosting a video game or something and you don't want to pay to host all the downloading of that, which can get expensive, just offer a torrent. So basically everyone else is contributing upload speed, so you don't have to pay for some server to host it with a ridiculous internet connection. That is assuming, of course, that you create some kind of digital content that people want, something that's popular. Unlike me in school, I was never wanted or popular. Another reason it could be useful to have a torrent at least as a backup download option, if not the main one, is that, sometimes internet service providers don't have 100% uptime, despite what the marketing material says. And also, sometimes the download server will get a Windows 10 update. So, there's that too. But the point is, if a computer hosting the download goes down, the torrent still survives because it's distributed across, hopefully, hundreds or thousands of other nodes. So, bringing this back to me, there's no real incentive for me to do this. I just happen to have an excess of upload speed that I hardly ever use, a bunch of USB and microSD storage, and a spare Raspberry Pi. So it just seemed like, why not? Just doing my part for the digital community is the same reason I still do protein folding, even though it's not really that profitable right now, and EVGA more than tripled the difficulty for earning rewards. One of the video games that I'm hosting via torrent is Nitronic Rush, which you can check out in this video up here. It's basically rocket car stunt gymnastics racing. It's pretty cool. If you have a Raspberry Pi and you download Raspbian or any of the Noobs installers, which will give you access to other OSs, chances are some of that download will come from me as well. Another file I'm hosting is the cinematic mod for Half-Life 2, and I know there's a lot of controversy around because we're dealing with a classic here, but some people just like to play video games with high graphic settings. And then there's a game I found called Open Spades, which I've played like 2 or 3 minutes of a couple months ago and haven't touched since, but if it's a game that some of your friends are playing and you need to download a copy, then hey, you can get it from me too. There's a couple other Raspberry Pi projects I discovered late last night, minutes before I fell asleep, and I'm not revealing what they are just yet because I want to build a little bit of hype and suspense around it, which probably isn't going to work, but I think it's going to be cool and it'll result in a pretty interesting social experiment. For those of you who are really observant, you may notice that if you add up all the file sizes, it doesn't come anywhere close to 256 gigs. It's like a tenth of that. I have a lot of storage space still available, and even a 1 terabyte external drive. So if you know of some torrents that need to be seeded for the community, comment below. I'll download them and host them. As long as it's not illegal, I'll host it. Probably. This is YouTube. like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will say, subscribing now is probably a good idea because I've done a 32-inch tall PC, which you can check out over here. Upcoming in the next month or two is a 6-foot, that's 2 meters, tall PC. It's going to be very amazing. As well as, seeing the conclusion to Project Tank. That's coming soon too.